Hello, welcome to the Triangle Podcast, where today we will be talking about this week's news, including Lakers upsetting the Warriors, some players really getting it together, a little team versus team debate, and our very own power rankings. I'm Christian.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Jesus.
And we're back. How's everybody's week going this week?
I'm winning in fantasy this week in 2 leagues.
Did you win last week?
Yeah. I got that win back after I got a tie with Kazuki. I'm hoping to win this week. I'm up 7 categories to 1, and I'm winning in my other league by like 200 points.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I'm cooking this week.
I actually lost last week.
Ha!
Yeah,
I lost last week
that.
in one of my leagues, and it's literally I was winning the whole week, and it was literally the last day. I was busy, and I was so busy with work and schoolwork and everything, and I just completely forgot to start Rodney Hood, and I lost by literally like 10 like actual points, points like as in scoring points. I was so upset. But this week I'm looking pretty good. I'm facing one of the better teams in the league, and I'm holding my own. I'm beating him right now.
That's good.
Jesus, how's your fantasy team going?
I'm actually doing pretty solid. I actually think I'm losing right now.
That's not solid.
Did you start Joe Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Surprised you haven't dropped Joe Johnson.
Nah, Joe Johnson to go.
Didn't you drop Tim Frazier?
By accident. I didn't mean to. And then
Tim Frazier is still the 10-day killer.
Yeah. And I didn't know I went over my max of releases and added.
Oh, God.
On my fantasy squad, so it's looking pretty slow.
I haven't dropped one player since.
I've been dropping daily.
I used to do that all the time.
I do it. I
do it
still
a lot.
drop daily. I drop daily.
I hate doing that.
But besides that,
I have to.
It's been a pretty good week because if people don't know, I'm a huge Giants fan, and they're doing pretty good.
Okay.
So pretty solid week, and you got some crazy NBA news going on.
Yeah, my week is terrible.
Hey, Lakers are winning.
Lakers are doing good, but all this schoolwork and freaking college is
I hear you.
terrible.
I feel worse because the Knicks suck now.
And then the election is no better.
Yeah. Trump is our president, ladies and gentlemen.
And for those who don't know, that is Jesse's grandmother's responsibility, and it's all her fault.
That's Trump's number one fan right there is my grandmother.
Yeah, I don't respect it.
You trying to lose subscribers?
Yeah. All right, but let's not talk politics here.
Yeah, I'm down 50 points in my fantasy.
That sounds terrible. All right, so actually last week when we were recording our second podcast, it was kind of interesting because we were recording the podcast about MMA, and we had the game in the background, the Lakers and Warriors game. And I said the week before that I might tune in. Like, that's how, I mean, obviously I'm a Lakers fan and I was intrigued to it, but I don't know. I obviously thought they were going to lose. So here I am watching the game, and while Jesse's talking very passionately about his UFC, I'm tapping him on the leg and, yo, D'Angelo Russell going off. Yo, Randall just had a putback. Like, let's start it off with that. The Golden State versus Lakers game where the Lakers caught a huge upset.
Honestly, that game reminded me of last year because the Lakers beat the Warriors last year as well. And
how did they come away with that?
The Lakers are a really good team this year. I'm starting to believe in them, but it is still too early, as a lot of people would say. But the Lakers this season, they have a lot of good potential, and I just think the Lakers can honestly make the playoffs as of right now, but it's too early to tell. So, what do you think about that, Jesus?
Well, you know what's crazy? I'm actually not surprised that LA won, because I remember on previous podcasts I said where the Warriors were going to struggle, and obviously we've seen it. Warriors don't have a bench. Lakers have probably
the Lakers have
the best bench.
We have the best bench.
The Lakers
right now.
have the best bench in the NBA,
and not for player talking about who players are better than another player. Just how they play so well together, how they're so familiar with each other.
Oh yeah.
How Luke Walton has been playing on the same concept, and guys aren't trying to play hero ball, and they're playing some team basketball, moving the ball around, getting putbacks, grabbing 50-50 balls. So. I love to watch them play together, especially with Luke Walton.
Honestly, I'm biased because I'm a Lakers fan, obviously, in this case, but I think we might be one of the most fun teams to watch this year.
Yeah. I hope so.
Because he's just young, energetic.
It's just because honestly, I think the 76ers are fun to watch, too. Maybe I'm the only one.
They are.
It's just to know what this team is going to be in the future.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love watching it.
Like I said, I was talking to Christian off wax, said probably going to have a big three, and I totally forgot about
Ingram.
I said Julius Randle,
Clarkson and Russell.
Clarkson and Russell are going to be probably the future big three, and then coming off the bench right now is a future small forward, probably going to be an all-star. So it's going to be insane. I hope they can keep everyone together.
You can't forget Larry Nance too.
Larry Nance is really solid.
too.
He's really, I'm really feeling him.
With that game too, everything was just going right for the Lakers.
And
It
everything was really going wrong for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Curry went.
10 from 3.
Curry had no shot whatsoever. He went 5 for 17 total. Had 10 points. He had 13 points. He wasn't doing anything. Klay Thompson. I mean, he has been struggling lately. He only
really
had 10.
Been struggling.
No, he's been picking it up now.
But he's been struggling with just besides 3-pointers,
Shooting.
with just field goals.
Now that I think about it, I think Curry had a triple-double with turnovers. That's how bad he played.
No, he only had 2 turnovers.
Oh wow!
Oh really? But they let
been another game.
they only let them score 15 points in the first and the fourth quarter of that game. Like, you don't do that to a high-powered offense like the Warriors.
The thing is, once you have Curry and Klay already not working, Warriors bench is not clicking this year.
No.
Yeah.
So right there, you lost all your scoring. You have going down the line. You have Iguodala with 3 points, Ian Clark with 2, David West with 4.
What Livingston too?
Livingston and Kevin Looney had both 11, but that is if that's where you're depending on your scoring coming from, it's not going to be much.
Yes.
97 points for the Warriors
against the Lakers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's bad.
And Lakers don't have the best defense. I'm being honest now.
No,
we don't have the best defense. We're still young. We're still developing. We don't have the best defense.
But what was it? Yeah, the Warriors did wax the Thunder the beginning before this game. But last season, Steph Curry averaged 30 points a game. Mm-hmm. This season, he hasn't even scored a 30 a game. Maybe the most recent game against the Pelicans, I think he had over 30. But before this,
he's averaging 27 a game.
Yeah, but he hasn't dropped 30 points. Besides the Pelicans game, I don't think he just dropped 30 this whole beginning of the season.
I'm not sure about that.
He dropped 33 against. He dropped 33 against Dallas, 46 against Pelicans. And
is this week?
Yeah, that's this week.
Well, this is before these games.
Oh, okay, I understand.
I mean, he's been getting close, but no, that was only 2 times above 30. You're correct.
And we can see that Kevin Durant is the leading scorer on the team, and maybe now what everyone was talking about during the offseason, that Kevin Durant is going to get a lot of ball time, and he's going to be shooting most of his shots. And they said, it's going to work out, but maybe it's not. They only have 2 losses in the season, which is impressive. But the way we were talking about them before the season, we thought they were going to go
undefeated the whole year. God damn it!
Maybe go 30 games without losing a game,
and then somehow losing the finals again.
Yeah. So we're witnessing some flaws in the Warriors, but we're seeing improvement in the Lakers, which is a great thing to see because that just means more competitive basketball.
Now, are you worried for the Warriors or no?
No, I still think they have. We all know they still have a chance to go to the finals. But
it's still the first days. Yeah. It's still the first days of them figuring it out.
We're going to talk about this later in the show, but the Clippers looking like they can't be a team to mess around with. A team to take lightly.
Mm-hmm. They could potentially go to the Western Conference Finals and play the Warriors.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we talk to our power rankings later. But yeah, man, watching that Lakers Golden State game, I was so happy to be a fan, man.
Yeah.
Because
who is it? Clarkson. I'm gonna say it right now. Will be a future All-Star.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
He's looking absolutely phenomenal. And if you want to get a good coach, we were saying this before the show, you just got to get a coach that was coached by Coach Popovich, Steven, not Steven Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Steven Jackson.
The greatest coach alive.
Or Pat Riley. You got to get some coaches that used to play for them.
You got to have a player that was coached by a great coach.
Yeah.
But as we transition to our argument, so after the Lakers game happened, I got a little ahead of myself, I must admit.
Yeah. Me
and Christian went at this topic for a little bit off air.
I tweeted and I claimed that Lakers were the best team in the league. I was being a little exaggerate. I'm aware.
I'm like that way when the Knicks win, but we're sitting at 3-5 and we're not really impressive right now.
I wish we had to pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes.
No, I wish we had the sound for
But so I tweeted that, and then a friend tweeted back at me, who is a Knicks fan, and he was like, "Nah, you bugging." And I was like, "All right, yeah, we're not the best in the league, but we're
Q, right?"
Yeah, and I was like, "We're better than the Knicks, though." And he was like, "Nah, you're still bugging." And I was like, "No,
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
bugging.
I'm no statistically, we got a better future. We're doing better statistically. We're
Yes.
beating better teams.
And this is coming from a Knicks fan. I'm agreeing with Christian.
So yeah, I decided I want to hear Jesse's point of view coming from a Knicks fan, and I'm a Lakers fan. So I want to know, Lakers or Knicks, who's really better
right now, or like for future references?
in
or-
general? Like
In
right
general-
now, I guess.
In general, right now, the Lakers are the better team. The Knicks right now, they have Carmelo, Porzingis, and Derrick Rose because Joakim Noah hasn't shown me much. Brandon Jennings is playing very well off the bench. Courtney Lee, he had like one good game. Now that I remember when they played Chicago last Friday. The Knicks, I believe they need to be playing better with the amount of talent Phil Jackson surrounded Carmelo Anthony with. And I think Carmelo Anthony isn't happy because they only have 3 wins on the season, but it is still very early, like I keep saying. But Phil Jackson, I don't know if you heard this, he's very like unhappy with the Knicks offense.
I'll be unhappy
Yeah,
too because he said they're not running the triangle right.
Yeah.
And I think Derrick Rose isn't getting accustomed to that because in Chicago he played with the pick and roll. You know what I mean? With
I
Sean
don't think.
Thibodeau.
I think the
He
only
goes to the
player.
basketball.
I think the only player suited for the triangle is Carmelo.
Yeah.
Maybe
But-
Noah.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Noah, but he doesn't even.
He's
I'm,
not
I'm
that
trying to put it in the
dominant big
Pau
man that
Gasol
good.
like
I'll take you.
spectrum.
Yeah.
I'll take you behind the notes part. Well, Phil Jackson, he's not. When he said at the beginning of the season he doesn't want to take over the team. That's why he's letting their coach right now take over the team. But then he hires. I just seen it. He let Kurt Rambis.
Yeah, he took over the assignments on the
defensive
side of the ball because we're the worst defending team in the league.
But if you didn't know this, Kurt Rambis was the defensive coordinator for the Timberwolves last year.
Yes.
And they were the 3rd worst
Yeah.
defense in the league.
And
so I don't
his
see
head
where he's
coaching
going.
record is not impressive.
And yeah, and the only reason why Phil Jackson I think hired Kurt Rambis is because that he knows he could be manipulated easy. He can kind of not really be in the offense or not really have say in the team, but still have a say in the team basically.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil Jackson panicked, I think, at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
and that's why he signed all these guys like a Derrick Rose, like Joakim, like Courtney Lee, like
Because he
Brandon
wanted to
Jennings.
bring talent to New York finally.
Yeah, he knew that they were
Somewhat
I
of
think it's his
talent.
last year on his deal, he had a 3-year contract, and he couldn't really get any big names, so
No.
he got some decent sized names, pay them a lot of money.
Everybody's
I'm
getting
actually
paid a
glad
lot of
you brought
money.
that
No,
up.
but getting paid a lot of money and literally not showing anything for it, not wins, not stats, not
No.
really anything. So it is pretty sad to say that Phil Jackson, one of the greatest coaches of all time,
Probably
but
the
he's
greatest coach of all time.
struggling at being a GM.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up because me and Christian both know how it feels to. We are both big markets, especially in the NBA. New York, probably the biggest market, and then Los Angeles out west. The Knicks and the Lakers over the past few seasons
Struggle to get
haven't
stars.
gotten big name free agents, and it's been very true. Me and Christian have been arguing about it, like, why isn't Phil Jackson getting these big names, or why isn't Jim Buss getting these big names? Why are they
'Cause
signing
Jim
Timothy
Buss is
Mozgov?
terrible.
You know what I mean? So
We've-
it's very hard as a Knicks fan to not get good talent, and I kind of understand where Christian's coming from too, because the Lakers, they're a dominant franchise. I think
One of the great. I say we're the greatest NBA franchise of all time.
probably, and the Boston Celtics and Chicago Bulls probably.
And I'll give you guys,
biased.
I'll give you the
I can't.
reason why. Just because right now you can jump on a plane and be anywhere in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
And we're talking about these dynasties were so great in the past, and social media, just time over time that these big name franchises just aren't as popular as they used to be. Just
Yes.
because everyone's doing their own things in their own cities. All these cities that were really small are actually
Yeah,
turning out to be really big.
Yeah.
Like,
I would
look at
never think-
Cleveland now.
or Golden State for that matter.
Yeah,
I would
Oakland.
never think they'll be a big market team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
they're a huge market team now, and they're in the same city as the Clippers and LA and it's Oakland. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing but cross that bridge, and now everyone's like,
I never been to Oakland. I can't tell you that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like we have all these teams that nowadays that there is no big market teams. There's nobody's going, oh, I want to play in LA because it's LA, and I want to play in New York because it's New York. I think that's over with
It's
nowadays.
done with now. They want to play to win.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to hear your input on why the Lakers have a better future than the Knicks, which I completely agree with.
Lakers are a better team than the Knicks in general. I'm sorry, you guys have Melo, you guys got Rose, you guys got Noah, you guys got Courtney Lee, Brandon, all that. Lakers are a better team right now.
Yes.
We're moving the ball. D'Angelo Russell is playing. I can't say great yet. He's playing pretty good.
Good, better than last season.
For a guy 20 years old.
He's 20 years old.
Still adjusting to the
He
game.
does have games where he's not scoring, but then he has games where he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Randall's looking like a monster this year.
Yes.
He's been amazing me. And honestly, I wasn't the biggest Randall guy. I mean, I knew he was good, but I didn't think he'll wow me this much.
'Cause he's good at being all right, but you didn't know he was going to be really good
Nah,
at
when-
being all right.
No,
he got
he's
drafted-
actually showing physical toughness. He's not acting soft. Like he's backing down players.
I would say he's the Draymond Green of the.
Well, Draymond Green, you compared him to him, which I don't see the comparison.
Well, I do,
Maybe
because
not
he's another
yet.
guy. He's remember a big guy, power forward, who likes to take the rebound and dribble it down,
And he can score
40
down low.
feet.
People
You know what I
forget
mean?
that.
And dish out.
And,
I can see the
and
resemblance.
he's honestly getting a shot out there. His mid range is getting a lot
His
better,
mid-range
and I
is
know
getting
he's
up
trying
there,
to take a few more threes. He's not. I wouldn't say jump to that right now, but over time I could see him getting it.
And this is once again, I'll take you behind the scenes of why LA is doing a lot better than them. LA isn't getting better by signing players and trying to spend a lot of money to get come here, we have a lot of money. They're actually developing their team in the draft, and you don't see that a lot. They said, hey, we're gonna bust, we're gonna tank for a couple years, and look at they got number 1 draft picks. They got Russell, they got
Randall.
Graham this year, they got Randall, Clarkson.
Clarkson was the second round.
Was he the second round? All these
I want to say
guys,
52.
all these guys came from the draft. They didn't pick any of these guys up.
But they picked up veteran pieces in free agency, like Luol Deng, like we were saying before.
Lou Williams.
And
Lou
without,
Williams the past season.
and
Right, they
without,
got him.
Oh, I'm saying in general over the time.
Okay.
and they're doing it without paying insane amount of money. We still got to remember, LA still has enough money to sign a big name.
If
Like, you know what I
Jim
mean?
Buss gets in there.
Look, the Knicks are maxed out. That's it.
But
They're done.
as we were saying, a big name in that group, would you like that? I honestly, I don't know if I want to see a big name thrown in there, or I'd rather have the players develop into big names themselves.
I don't know.
Because I look at the positions, and I'm like, point guard. We already got a point guard in Russell.
I think you guys need a center.
All right, hear me out. Point guard, we got that in Russell. Shooting guard, we got that in Clarkson. Small forward, we got that in Ingram. Power forward, we got that in Randall. Center, yes, we do need a
Mozgov,
center.
that's it.
We got Mozgov.
League, though.
But literally,
Yeah.
does any team really need a center now? You just need a.
This is we were saying.
I could see Larry Nance being thrown in the starting lineup, and you just have those
Maybe
as a
five.
body, as a body.
Yeah.
We were saying this once again. For some reason, we were off air saying this also.
DeMarcus Cousins.
We were giving
We're
some
always
names.
talking about basketball.
Yeah.
Here.
It never stops.
We're throwing out some names like if DeMarcus Cousins wanted to leave Sacramento
Oh, goodness.
and go to LA. I don't like it. Just
He'd be a
because
perfect fit.
I don't
I
think he'd
disagree.
be a perfect
I
fit.
do like
just
it.
because just hear me out. Once again, not the best attitude. You know what I mean? You don't want a guy going in there
I agree.
and getting tempers flared up because LA had their situations with Russell and Young, obviously, and you don't want somebody coming in. These guys trust each other. After Kobe left, they got together and was like, "Hey guys, we're going to be the future franchise." Everybody's talking about the Timberwolves, how they're going to be the future of the league. We want to be in that conversation. So, another reason why I don't like Cousins is because he is an offensive-driven center. You know what I mean? He's not a guy who does the dirty work. He wants to sit down low, grab the ball from the post, turn around both shoulders, throw it in the basket, average 22 points a game. And,
Average 28 points a game.
oh, there you go, average 28 points a game. And 10 rebounds.
Everybody averaging 28 points a game
Yeah.
now.
Right
The way
now,
the NBA is now, yeah.
yeah, right now they have their scorers. They have their Russell, they have their Clarkson, they have their Graham off the bench.
Lou Williams is our second leading scorer on the
Lou
team.
Williams, they have their baskets. Now you want the guys who are ground and pound, like the Luol Deng, like the Timothy Mozgov. Who's it? Black? What was his?
Tark Black.
Tark Black. All these guys who are going to take the dirty side of the ball and, help out the guys on the offensive side of the ball, like taking hard fouls and stuff like that.
That's another thing. We were talking about our bench. Our whole lineup it goes so deep.
It's so deep.
Because
yes.
I love Tark Black the whole preseason, and now I'm like, he's not getting no minutes, but at the same time, it's hard to fit him in there. But he too is a really good player. We got Lou Williams, who's second, leading us in scoring. We're clicking in all keys right now, and it's just working. And Luke Walton, I salute you. You've been a great coach.
And I want to add something when you're done.
Yeah, I know what you want to add, but Luke Walton been a great coach. I mean, even when he played for the Lakers, he was used to just sitting on the bench. So he
got two rings sitting on the bench.
He fit the role perfectly. He just took the same seat he had last time, like
James Jones.
Exactly. But yeah, Jesse, I know what you want to talk about. Hit me.
Okay. The thing I want to bring up is, did you hear what Jordan Clarkson said about Kobe?
I don't know it word for word.
Okay, word for word, I have it right here.
Oh, quote.
Jordan Clarkson on Kobe's retirement. He said, "We've kind of moved on. It's almost like breaking up with your girlfriend. We're creating something new." Now, do you believe?
I don't think that was. I'm just gonna. I don't think that was a jab at Kobe.
No.
D'Angelo Russell also did say a quote early in the year. I don't have it right next to me, and I can't do it word for word like you did. But it was just like, now that Kobe's gone, the focus is on basketball rather than him. But that wasn't a jab at him either. It was just like, rather than him like celebrating it, because it was
a farewell tour.
Yeah, it
was a tour last.
It was literally a tour,
here's
but for good measures.
Here's my question: do you think the Lakers are doing good this season because Kobe retired, or do you think if Kobe played another year and he was the player he was last year, which he was one of the worst players in the NBA. I'm sorry, it's Kobe.
Worst players in the NBA.
Yes.
There's a lot of guys who are worse.
I know.
The way he was,
no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just.
I say maybe one of the worst stars in the NBA, maybe.
But the way
but
he
worst
shot
players.
The ball, the way he shot the three.
You're telling me Harrison Barnes was better than Kobe Bryant last year?
He shot the ball better than him.
Went to the finals.
Yeah, he didn't do 9 in the finals.
Yeah, but my question is, do you think Kobe would make this team better if he was on it, or are you glad Kobe's gone and to let the young core develop and make your team better in the future?
This is what I said about DeMarcus Cousins. Once again, he's offensive-minded player. Kobe is an offensive-minded player.
Yeah.
He needs the ball in his hands to be an effective player. I just gave you the three guys who need the ball in their hand to score it, and they're going to be the future of the team. So they need the ball in their hands. They didn't need a guy like Kobe.
That's why the Lakers were so bad last season, because Kobe wanted the ball.
As Jesus said earlier, we're moving the ball more, but that's also Luke Walton. He came from the Warrior system where it's pass. Who cares about a sit? Like now, who cares about
shot, pass it a better shot?
Yeah, exactly. And Kobe is just more of an ISO player. That's him. You know him for just he's the best worst shot maker in history.
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy way to put it, but that's him.
Some guys
he just doesn't fit in the system we have now, and that's it. If he was on this team, the team probably would be worse.
Would be struggling.
Okay,
but
and it's just because
Kobe's
a bad player. It's just some guys they have the correct mix.
I just think the way Kobe's been playing his past few seasons, if he would have stayed there, he would have just made the Lakers worse. And I'm glad he retired because he's one of the greatest players of all time.
I'm glad he retired with that game.
Oh yeah,
the whole season was worth that one game.
Yes, it was. And then I'm glad the Lakers are moved on from that. They're sitting at what, 5-4?
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Kobe come back and be a consultant for the Lakers. I would love.
Just a little something.
I'd love to see him coach.
I don't know if I want
he's
to
not
see
a
him
coach. You know, because you had those guys who can't be a great coach. Who were great players. And
maybe not a head coach, maybe like an assistant coach.
like what Keem Olajuwon does.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches one-on-one showing guys, some of the little moves.
I mean, he was working with players in the offseason.
Yeah,
so.
like Kawhi, like Irving, all those guys. And look at them having breakout seasons. So, yeah, I would love to see Kobe maybe be a consultant for them, you know what I mean?
Maybe one day.
These guys under their wing.
Hopefully. I'd love to see it just as a fan. But, yeah, this week... Nothing too crazy going on, but let's get into some shout-outs of the week. Some players that really, maybe not like stars that stood out, but players that don't get enough recognition, that we just want to give some shout-out and give some shine to. Like, we had Curry, what Curry did. He brought it back to his old form almost in some of these games, but we're not going to shout him out only because we want to bring some shine to some new people that never get it.
Are we discussing his record?
We'll get to that with the power rankings. Yeah. All right, so the shout-outs of the week right now. Jesus, who's yours?
That would be Enes Kanter on OKC. OKC right now is 6-2. Before they lost to the Raptors, they were 6-1. That was the best start since they were the Supersonics. Or were they just the Sonics? What was it? Since the
Supersonics.
Age. Yeah, since the Sonics age, so it was just really impressive. And I feel like Enes Kanter, I need to show him some love just because he doesn't get as much shine because he's a guy who comes off the bench only averaging 18 minutes a game. But let me throw you some numbers that this guy put up. Some games, one game beginning of the season, 17 for 12, 17 and 12, 16 and 6, 6-12, 20-10, 24-10, like some really solid games by a guy who literally has limited minutes. I wish they would, give him some more minutes, give him the ball, because this guy...
What we said, 19 minutes?
18 minutes a game. And
That's...
He's putting up 24 points some games, 20 above.
That's great for the minutes he's getting. I'm not a fan of him, but I can't deny that. Like, he's actually doing okay.
The only reason I say is because he's struggling on the offensive side of the ball this season. Westbrook is is really your only scoring option when you have a big guy who's multi-talented, has very light on his feet, very soft touch at the rims, can grab rebounds. I would love to see Enes Kanter be more in this whole offense. I think he would be a great suit, maybe being a starter.
Jesse, you got anybody?
People are gonna be surprised when I say this. Devin Booker.
Oh, Devin Booker.
I'm not surprised.
When they played the Lakers.
Well, this was his week. Yeah, this was his week.
When they played the Lakers the other day, he put up 39 points. Mm-hmm. He said he was like really gonna take his performance to another level, and he's been looking forward to this shot. And I know he's playing on probably going to be one of the worst teams in the playoffs this year, the season. But I think Devin Booker can really evaluate his game and become a better player. So I'm looking forward to him putting up some more points.
Do you have the games that his performances? Because I know he had 2 back-to-back career highs.
Yeah,
I want to say one was 37, one was 38.
He had 38 against the Pelicans, who is probably the worst team in the NBA. And then
one of the best players.
two days after that game, they played the Lakers, and he had 39. And then the game after that, he put up 23. So he had an impressive week, in my opinion.
This is actually a blessing for Devin Booker because he's also very young. If I'm not mistaken, he's probably only 19 years old. This is a blessing for Devin Booker.
He's 20.
He's 20.
That's his most impressive stat.
And
he's 20 years old.
That's what I'm saying. And he's on a team that we know are not going to do much. So
the shine is him.
Yeah, he's going to get majority of the touches.
Yeah.
With Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight on that team, and he's lucky now. He's showing his shine. He's showing his worth. Mm-hmm. Teams are going to be interested in him, or maybe players who want to go to a developing team who can be a starter in the Big Three and go, hey, this guy Devin Booker can shoot the ball pretty well. I would like to go play with him. Yeah. So not only is he probably going to be making more money for himself, he's probably going to bring some interest back to Phoenix.
Maybe.
He's going to undoubtedly be a star.
I'll remind you, he's putting up 21.5 points per game
at the age of 20.
20 years old. That's, to me, once again, his most impressive stat line. Yeah. He's 20 years old.
Yeah, I think if Devin Booker can, maybe if the Suns can get another player to play with him.
A few more pieces.
Draft
picks or something.
Over time, I'm sure they could work it out.
Phoenix won't be irrelevant.
Better future than Pelicans.
Yeah.
But
who's your
I got
pick?
2, but one I just want to give the actual recognition to, and then the other one we could dive into. I want to say Barnes, just because he came from the Warriors, where he didn't really get much love, man. Let's be real.
People thought his contract was a little robust at the beginning of the season for a guy who really didn't do much in the playoffs.
He didn't do anything in the finals.
Or do really anything on that team, you know what I mean? He was a good wing player, sit at the corner and, shoot that three that no one was really blocking because everyone was double teaming Clay and Steph.
He could play defense.
He was there.
He never developed into that small forward that we thought he was going to be like. So
especially coming out of North Carolina.
And everybody was like wondering, was he limited by Golden State being in that system?
Oh yeah.
And he was, because right now he's averaging 23 points a game and 6 rebounds, which is good for him. And I was a fan of him, and then he let me down in the finals, so I don't know. He's still young, too.
He let everyone down in the finals.
Granted, he's on a very piss-poor Mavericks team, but 23-6 is still no joke, and I give him my props. And he went off against the Lakers, and if I'm watching the Lakers game and I see you go off, good for you. Yep, I give you props. Which one?
I just wanted to do a real quick shout out. You mentioned it before. I just want for Steph Curry. Steph Curry, before he went to the Lakers game, had a 179 game streak of at least getting 1 3-pointer. And this guy is so good that he, you become when you. I'm trying to pick a perfect word to say it, but
you make up for it.
Yeah, not make up for it, but when diversity challenges you, you step up. And that's what he did against the Pelicans. And when you watch that game against the Pelicans, it's not like he was taking wide open threes or something. Like these guys are actually contesting, and he was literally just picking up off the dribble, giving one shimmy move, one step to the side, and splashing.
He was giving no moves.
Yeah.
He was literally chucking.
At one point,
His
I think
pump
Draymond
fakes were getting those players
it
up
was.
in the air, though.
It
and
really
it wasn't
was.
even like a pump fake step up. It was a pump fake move to the side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's great
You're
space.
still going to shoot the three. At one point, it was a Draymond Green literally just kicked the ball to him. He
So
picked
did
it
KD.
up and just chucked it and it went in. And I'm very happy to see Steph Curry do that. Just, when guys are doubting him, hey, are you not really the best player in the team? I mean, best player in the NBA anymore. And he really stepped up with these last 2 games. So I'm happy to see, Steph Curry coming back to being a normal sniper that he is.
Yeah, and let's say it right now, he just broke the 3-point record, man. He hit 13 a game, previously held by Kobe and some random bum I can't name right now. But
And he tied the record last year, too.
yeah, not to mention he had it
Kind of
tied.
broke his own record as well.
Yeah. So when you
But-
when you lose a record, you just create more. That's one thing Steph Curry's
So
doing.
obviously the game's late over here in the East Coast at least. So I couldn't see it all. I fell asleep probably in the first quarter.
I really won't be surprised if he somehow breaks that record by at least one more 3-pointer.
I can never be surprised by Stephen Curry anymore. But so I turn on ESPN in the morning as I'm getting ready for school, and I see the game. I already knew they won. I checked my app in the morning, and I was like, wow, he went off. So I watch it, and they're like, oh, let's see when Jamal Murray guards him. And Jamal Murray, rookie, on him real tight. Literally, maybe a solid 6 inches of room, and Curry chucks it up and makes it. It's phenomenal what this man could do.
His 3-point efficiency is just phenomenal. And it's crazy, because we see a hand in his face, and it's not like the efficiency even goes down.
No.
If he could literally just spot the basket with a hand in his face, he's most likely going in.
Yeah.
Which,
Legit.
He's the best shooter ever.
yeah, he has to be the best shooter.
He's going to shatter Ray Allen's 3-point record.
Granted, he's healthy, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just crazy because you watch guys like Ray Allen, who was a great, just spot up 3-point shooter, kick it to him, he pops it right there for the 3. Reggie Miller was another great player. Used to come off the screens, double screen, shoot the 3, and get his basket. But this man, Steph Curry, he's playing off the dribble. He's like a mix of both. So once again, shout out to Steph Curry. You're looking like a beast.
He really is. Now let's get to our power rankings. So a few people's power rankings came out this week, so we decided why not do one of our own. So as a group, we compiled the list, and we got number 1, Cavaliers, undoubtedly. Clippers number 2, Warriors number 3, 4 coming in as Hawks, Raptors 5, Thunder 6, Hornets 7, Spurs 8. We only did 8. That's as far as we're gonna get for now. So, what were we thinking when we made the list, guys?
I completely agree with you. Doing the Cavaliers is number 1. The Clippers, I feel like people tend to forget they only have 1 loss, and the Clippers, Chris Paul is playing like an MVP right now, and I agree with your list completely, but I think people are underestimating the Hornets, especially OKC without KD there. But Russell Westbrook, and he's gathering his whole team. Yeah, they only have 2 losses.
You said
You mentioned Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Did you mean the Thunder?
Oh yes.
Sorry for the mistake right there, guys.
I'm
Little
sorry.
brain fart.
But
yeah, I was gonna let it rock, but
and then obviously the Warriors, they have 4 All-Stars on their team. The Raptors are looking good. The Hawks. And then I kind of disagree with the Spurs, but because they only have 5.
Why do you?
They only have 5. They're only 5-3.
All right, but who's better? They're the Spurs. They beat the Warriors. They
Yeah.
killed
Smack
them.
the Warriors.
Killed them.
Yeah, so did the Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so yeah, when we compiled the list, Jesse had a problem with the Spurs spot. I thought it was valid because I can't see the Rockets. The Rockets aren't on here, right?
No.
Yeah, I can't see the Rockets above Spurs. Just
because they're
Even
big
though the
struggling during the beginning of the
They're
Rockets
doing
just
okay.
beat them, but that doesn't matter.
yeah, they're doing okay, but I just can't see them. I can't see them above the Spurs in any means. Just have the Spurs below Hornets kind of messes with my soul. But
just because remember they're playing in the West.
yeah, but we gotta see it as it is, and records matter right now,
Yeah.
especially for rankings. I mean, that's a big key of it. So Cavaliers undoubtedly number 1. Let's be real. Clippers. I feel like no attention is on Clippers this year, right?
No, they're not. They're completely discarding what Chris Paul's doing right now, and they only have 1 loss. Like that team could potentially go to the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors and give a run for their money because last season, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin were both injured. And then the season before that, they got eliminated in the second round, like always.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the Clippers are playing with a new chip on their shoulder.
Oh, definitely.
Just because they know this might be the end of their whole team that they've been
of their
playing
dynasty
with.
that they wanted to create.
For the past 4 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 4 or 5
Been in the making
seasons.
forever now.
They literally had the starting. I've never seen a team that had the same starting 5
And not go past the second round.
Besides that, at the reposition, and don't be surprised at this season. I was listening to a couple ESPN podcasts and stuff, and don't be surprised if Rudy Gay somehow surprisingly gets on the Clippers.
I'd be
what did you
interested in
hear?
that.
Yeah, I just heard a couple deals going on that this could be possible.
Who do they got to trade?
Jamal Crawford and Austin Rivers. For Rudy Gay. For
That'd be
Rudy
a
Gay
good
that
deal.
wants to get out of
Poor
Sacramento.
Cousins.
Yeah.
Poor Cousins.
Well, no, I think Jamal Crawford with Cousins would do a pretty well little mix for them because they're two. Jamal Crawford loves to give up the ball.
We were just talking earlier off air. Rudy Gay, why does he get no love, man?
I don't know.
He
When
constantly.
you play on a bad
20
team,
games.
you
I
really don't get no
guess
much
he
love.
constantly he's just putting up 20 a game basically and
the
getting
star
no love.
player obviously gets the most
Yeah,
attention. And
I
DeMarcus.
guess so.
Anthony Davis putting up 35 and 10 basically every game, and he's getting no shine.
But so what about the Hawks, man? They've been pretty damn impressive.
Dwight Howard, oh my god.
They put an end to the Cavaliers being undefeated.
Yeah, and I told you guys they would
Yeah,
win.
that shocked me. I
They
mean,
only won
I
by
mean,
2, but Dwight Howard back home in Atlanta. That's where he played in high school. But I think it's the real deal. Honestly, he's looking like the old Dwight. Maybe not from
Maybe
the
not
Orlando
as dominant,
perspective.
but getting the
he's-
ball in the post, dunking
He's looking
it.
better when he played with obviously LA and then Houston.
Yeah, getting his
Definitely.
double-doubles like he used to.
and with the Raptors right under the Hawks. Now they just actually won today. They beat the
Against the
Hornets
Hornets.
in OT, and Kemba Walker, shout out to him. He dropped 40 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists,
7 threes.
and for that team too, for having not that much players, but like. It's not like they got stars now.
Yeah,
let's be
once
real.
again,
I mean,
oh.
Kemba Walker's good, but
They're almost playing like same thing as Laker ball. Not really one dominant superstar. Just a bunch of guys who just play really well together, like Cody Zeller.
Frank Kaminsky.
Batum, and
Walker,
all those guys.
Jeremy
Of course.
Lamb.
And Michael Gilchrist, I think he's injured right now. But
Yeah.
during the beginning
He was
of the
putting up
season,
some stats,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
getting his own. So I'm happy to see these teams that somehow don't have a crazy superstar on the team, but somehow know how to get it done at the end.
They're going to be a playoff team, and I know you guys maybe didn't agree with that, but
no,
think they will be.
no, without a doubt they are now. They're very
Oh,
impressive.
yeah.
Now, teams that aren't in our top 8, let's just throw them out there. Trailblazers, Celtics.
They're looking disappointing, both of those teams.
Pacers.
Yeah, I was going to say the
They're-
Pacers. Trailblazers,
that's a big
Celtics, and Pacers stand out to me the most. What do you think is going wrong? I mean, Trailblazers, I feel like have a really tough schedule.
Yeah,
I
agree.
The Trailblazers, I think somehow will pull off being one of the best teams in the West. But
Hopefully.
it's just sometimes you just go through these roadblocks where guys aren't on the same page as you, or the ball just won't get on the basket for you.
I feel like that's more of a problem with the Pacers. I mean, Paul George is even saying himself, they're not playing good.
Yeah. With the Pacers, we can notice it that their team somehow isn't playing well together. They just can't get on the same page. Guys don't trust each other.
No.
They don't. You know what I mean? Paul George is the leading scorer on their team with 24 points a game, and he doesn't trust guys to take shots. You
I
know
don't
what
even
mean?
think that's enough, man. 24
not.
points a game.
Honestly,
Well,
When you're the main option, Jeff
Yeah.
Teague isn't working
Yeah.
out. We talked about this last time. It's not just working.
the only
It's not
two
working out for that
good
team.
players that are connected on that team are obviously Paul George and Miles Turner.
Miles Turner's great.
Yeah.
He's playing excellent. But I want to get into the
Celtics?
Boston Celtics here. They're sitting at 4-4 right now. They just beat my New York Knicks by
30.
about 30 points. But previously, the other day, I saw on Instagram, ESPN posted it. Isaiah Thomas said, "We're not as good as we thought we were at this point. We're all talk." What do you think about that?
You want to go, James?
Yeah. When he means we're all talk is basically when we saw in the beginning of the season that this team was such a great upcoming team with a great coach in Brad Stevens, that this team could roll with basically any team in the NBA. And right now, Al Horford has been injured. Jordan Crawford, not Jordan Crawford. What's his name? Their small forward for the team.
Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder,
sorry.
yeah.
I don't know why Crawford just stuck in my head because
okay.
we were just talking about him. He's been injured. All these guys finally. Avery Bradley got back from injury. He's playing really well. But somehow these guys are not playing good team basketball.
It's been a lot of injuries happening that are just
Horford's
aren't.
out right now.
It's not going in their favor. They have a tough schedule that is not in their favor. And
to be honest, I don't think they planned on for all these other teams to be really well. You know what I mean?
the East is not looking like scrubs anymore.
No,
They've
that's
gotten
why.
so much
And that's
better.
why I think maybe the Portland Trailblazers, the Celtics, the Pacers were underestimating teams this season. And, these guys come and show. They're coming. The 76ers just beat the Pacers tonight. Lakers are beating the Warriors and the Rockets. You know what I mean? The teams that literally weren't even mentioned last year are going to be noticed.
This league might be more well-balanced than what we thought, be honest.
Because we were saying in the beginning of the season,
it's so like, top-heavy.
What are we talking about? It was going to be Warriors and Cavaliers, which at the end of the season most likely will still be. But these teams are making them real interesting.
Yeah, I would love to see a big upset in the postseason. But
I
that's
just love the NBA. The NBA gets better. By the
imagine if it had. We should actually talk about this one day, man. Imagine if they had the one game format like NFL, like for the playoffs.
It'd be pretty scary.
That'd be
because that's any given day you could slip up. Like Warriors losing to the Lakers. Imagine that in the playoffs.
Stop.
We should actually write down that topic.
And it'll be. I promise you this right now. I'm putting it on wax. And there's going to be a lot of Game 7s in the playoffs this season.
Oh, yeah.
Might be.
There really might be.
I think, as crazy as it sounds, the finals went to 7 games last year. Even with KD, I think it might go 7 again.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And this is one thing. Teams are not rolling over to all these super teams.
No.
They're right in their faces. When we see some games with some okay teams and the best teams, they're, 5 games apart. 5 points apart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a very interesting season. I can't wait.
Damian Lillard said it over the offseason. He doesn't agree with the super teams. I just want them all to prove it. I love to see.
Yeah.
I love to see just a small market team, a team with maybe one good player, not really a star, it'll be amazing, man. I would love to see it. Now let's talk about what's at the bottom of the rankings. So me and Jesse were arguing. Was it Pelicans? Was it 76ers? And as soon as I got that notification that 76ers won, I said Pelicans are the worst team in the league.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
So do we all agree on that?
Yeah, which is insane to say that an MVP candidate is on literally the worst team.
Yeah.
Tim Frazier?
That's a go.
No. That's not the MVP candidate?
If we get into detail here real quick, Anthony Davis is the only player in the NBA putting up 30 and 10. And he's on the worst team in the NBA.
Please get him some help.
Yeah, you really need to get him some help. Get a somewhat of a trade.
Monty Williams help him out.
Something. I don't know.
Yes,
Drew Holiday's coming back, thank God, from his wife having cancer and everything. So
hopefully Tyreek Evans can
helps him out.
Hopefully gets healthy. Something, you know what I mean?
Even if he gets help, I don't think there's. Even if he gets help, I don't think there's room for him in the playoffs.
Oh, no. They need to completely unload that team because Anthony Davis is the only player I would keep.
Yeah, because the top 6 is locked, and then, you got Jazz and, I think, Lakers 8. Or right now, it's Trailblazers and Lakers 7 and 8. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be Jazz and Lakers, probably 7 and 8, or mixed around, who knows. But, I can't see a team, budgeting in there. The only team that got a chance to slide in there is Grizzlies right now. But, 76ers... We have Embiid, man, who's looking like a monster. And he's putting up 25, 6, and he's averaging, I think, 22 points a game.
And he's only
in a span of 20 minutes.
He's averaging 19 and 7 or something like that?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, he's averaging 18 and 7.
And his coach sits him, back-to-back games. He doesn't play in those back-to-back games because they're worried about him not getting hurt.
With injury.
Getting hurt, yeah.
The Warriors, the 76ers has a bunch of L's right now, but they're not losing by much.
No.
Yeah. They're not getting blown out like last year.
They went to overtime just now. They went to overtime, I'm pretty sure, last game. I can't remember the team off the top of my head. And Joel Embiid didn't play, in the overtime at all. So that hurt them right there. And they ended up losing that game. So even though their record isn't...
It's not showing...
It's not showing how good they actually are.
Is developing. And just like Joel Embiid's nickname, The Process, just trust the process. And we're witnessing that. You know, Joel Embiid is very entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
And I said that. I'm happy I predicted that.
I loved it. ESPN did a glimpse of him and Olajuwon basically doing mirror-like moves. When they got in the post, he did the shimmy shake, pump fake with the ball in one hand, and then floated up to the basket. He literally just
he studies the game
same
so
image
well.
of Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm gonna have to do some studying, and maybe they train together during the off season.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He's looking phenomenal. His skill set is undoubtedly one of the best big men in the game.
Did you see in that same game, Jahlil Okafor just gave it to, I think it was Rudy Gobert, actually. I think he just gave it to him. Like, literally, he went up on him. I think he had the ball, took 2 steps, and dunked on him. Like, it was really a big man move.
Oh, wow.
You definitely, I'll show you it after the podcast.
It's really awesome to see some skilled big men. We don't see that now. Guys are all about blocks,
Rebounds.
dunks, and alleys.
Yeah, and alleys, too.
Random, real quick. I don't want to get too out of the loop, but random. Jesse got something to say about the Greek Freak because
oh yes.
Before we forget, man, we got to give a shout out to this man. Jesse hit us with it.
Without the Greek Freak, the Bucks wouldn't be anything.
And they're doing good right now.
He is leading the team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks.
And minutes.
He's the all-around player on that team. I
And
know they
he's
have
their point
Jabari
guard.
Parker, who I thought would be a star by now. But the Greek Freak, man, keep doing your thing because you're looking like an all-star right now.
Another guy who's very young, very talented, very athletic.
He could fly.
Yeah, he can fly through the air.
I want to
This
see
guy
him
has-
in the dunk
What does he
contest.
have, like a 7'7" wingspan? Or
Yeah,
something?
probably.
He
Something
probably
like
takes
that.
like 7 steps to get down the court.
He-
Like,
he's one of the only guys you see in the league who literally grab the rebound on one end, drive it down, 90 feet or 50 feet? I forget how big the court is.
90.
90 feet, yeah. Was it 90 by
just a
52?
50?
Yeah, 90 by 50. Yeah, because I think it's 90 by 52. Who will literally grab it right off the rebound, drive it 90 feet, and stuff it in the defender's mouth, which is insane to see. Or kick it out to a player with a better shot. So, he's putting his name in this MVP, talk, and which is great to see out of him.
I wouldn't say MVP. I'll say his statistics are up there with the MVPs.
I want to say
but
most improved
just-
player.
I don't know how good his stats were to win that, to be honest. Right now,
I don't know. When you're leading your team in every category,
that's
it's pretty
great.
impressive.
Yeah, he might be able to get that. I still think.
I want to see him in the dunk contest, along with Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon.
I want to
and
see
Andrew
Larry
Wiggins.
Nance. I want to see Larry
Shout out
Nance.
to Larry Nance.
That'd be interesting.
But
Can we see LeBron in one before he retires?
I don't know if I want to see him in that one anymore,
That'll never
man.
happen.
Why?
Magic
They just-
Johnson offered him millions of dollars to do
Well,
it,
they
and
just
he
did a
still
study.
hasn't.
They just did a study on him. It was basically like a scientific study. Basically, you doing your body context to your age.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's 31 years old and has the body of a 19-year-old.
Yeah,
Like
God.
his age and his body are just not corresponding with each other. He is Benjamin Button,
he's 260 pounds of just pure muscle,
pure athlete.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
pure godness.
Speaking of LeBron, Jess, get to what you wanted to talk about.
Shout out to LeBron James.
Oh, I want to congratulate LeBron James for cracking that top 10 list and the All NBA scoring list, passing
Hakeem
Hakeem Olajuwon, the dream. I wanted to ask you a question. You guys a question.
And the viewers.
And the viewers, where do you see LeBron James being on that list by the time he retires?
LeBron James take you behind the thing.
Because as of right
Behind the
now,
scene.
he passed the 27,000 point milestone, and he's the youngest player in NBA history, passing Kobe, to have that many points at that young of an age.
This is the thing about LeBron James. LeBron James, this is a surprise probably. He will not be leading his team in points this season.
No.
He won't be averaging the most
Think
points.
Kyrie's gonna get it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just because he's being more facilitator, waiting for those playoffs to start up, and that's when he'll turn into the king again.
Mm-hmm.
The king that we always know. I don't think LeBron James will be in the league much longer.
How many more years do you think?
4 or 5, maybe. I don't
Uh,
think. I just unless his body is. And once again, we said he basically has a 19-year-old body.
He looks like a rookie.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Once we see it decline, will LeBron James go for a dunk and rim grazes it and now can't slam it down like he used, like he's used to doing? we might see LeBron James retire early. I don't see him kind of going into the last. I don't know. I just with him being such a great player, I just don't see him doing like what Dirk and Tim and Kobe do.
Do you know he's only 2,500 points away from Dirk Nowitzki, and he's number 6.
Yeah.
LeBron could put up 2,500 next season.
Yeah, or
this season.
I just don't see him doing it. Probably he'll be in the 20s for the rest of his career. Just only in the playoffs we'll see these crazy scores.
Probably, yeah.
And I don't think he's chasing that all-time record.
All right, listen. I kind of agree with Jesus. If you would have told me this when he had no rings, I would have never said that. But he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. Right now, he's not chasing no records. He's chasing some rings.
Yeah.
And once again, he's not going to be the main scorer anymore. He doesn't have to. He's going to be whatever the team needs him to be, and that's different than almost every person on this list. Because almost every person on this list, they were scorers, man, and they were that even when they were going out. Kobe was a scorer going out.
All these guys on the list right now played, if I'm not mistaken, Kareem played 20-plus seasons. Kobe played 20 seasons.
LeBron James is going to hit 20 seasons.
I don't see it.
I do. He didn't play in college.
He started so young.
We know that, but
Kobe.
What season is he in now? Do you know?
His 14th season.
I think LeBron, you got to look at Kobe now. He's still in great health, but look at all the injuries that he encountered.
Yeah, but look at LeBron.
LeBron has managed to stay healthy, and LeBron is a different athlete.
Oh,
of
yeah,
Kobe.
I know that. But I don't see him. He's not gonna retire when he meets the breaking point. He's gonna retire before the breaking point.
I think he should. I think he's an exception where he can retire before the breaking point because he earned his legacy.
He doesn't want to turn into that 13 points.
Yeah.
He's not going to turn into that 13-point guy.
Like Kobe did. Sadly.
Kobe did not turn into a 13-point guy.
No, he was still taking those Kobe-like shots.
But he wasn't a 13-point guy.
Oh, no,
don't
never.
Yeah, okay,
But
don't
like
disrespect him, Jesse. I'll whoop your ass.
Vince Carter was at one point top 10 best player in the league. And now he's slowed down. He's turned into just another guy.
Yeah.
Like Tracy McGrady turned into just another guy. And I think LeBron's way too good of a player just to turn into another guy.
I could definitely see LeBron cracking the top 5, though.
I could see that if he stays until he's 36, because that's where I'm putting him at retiring.
Yeah.
I can see him reaching that top 5.
The
only reason I see him reaching that top 5 is because he'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Until
does playoffs count in this?
Yeah. And when points,
total points,
I think playoffs. No, it is.
I'm not sure.
It really is. No, it is.
It might.
When it's total points, then that's it. Now total playoff points, that's a different
story.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
I am.
I don't think LeBron will pass Michael Jordan or Kobe in points.
No,
definitely not.
And he doesn't want to.
No,
he really doesn't.
He just wants to chase Jordan's ring count, which he will never touch.
And that's what the argument was when they were in the
I can't even say that anymore. I think he got a chance, man. The Cavaliers team is looking good, and they're only going to get better,
We got to talk about that next week.
Kyrie Irving is looking great.
Write that down.
If they win
Kyrie Irving is looking great. LeBron, literally, I'm not a LeBron fan, but this man has the potential to win a lot more rings.
I don't see LeBron winning more than one more ring in his career.
Why? Because he has the same amount of rings that Michael did at his
look
same
at
age.
Look at the Warriors. And then
the competition's getting harder, but I don't know, man.
Look at LeBron.
He's a freak of nature.
I know, but
ESPN just came out with their 100 greatest players, and LeBron James is number 1.
Still number 1.
You think he'll tie your man Kobe?
No, I don't.
I don't want
it. He's at 3.
I said top 5, probably 5. That's the number I see.
No, he's talking about rings.
Rings wise.
Oh, he'll have 5.
No,
he might, bro.
No,
he might.
I do. When you're LeBron James, you'll have 5.
I think so, but that's the end of our LeBron argument. I feel like you got to have a LeBron argument in everything.
Yeah, we really do.
LeBron and Curry, but let's do our daily upcoming games of the week, and we are recording this as of Friday, November 11th. So just keep that in mind while you watch this. It should be out that Sunday.
Upcoming games coming up this week are
Start with Monday.
With Monday?
Yeah, just because I think we did it last week with the whole week.
Real good games there on Monday. Toronto and Cleveland.
Ooh.
On Tuesday.
I want to see Toronto win this one.
And it's in Cleveland.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see Toronto winning it, but once again, you can't go against the Cavaliers and how they're playing and their bench.
DeRozan is the leading scorer in the league right now.
Yeah. 34 a game.
Yeah, but once again,
I think.
the Cavaliers, the Toronto will score, but the Cavaliers will score more points, and they'll score the three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, their team is stacked with 3-point shooters with Shannon, Fry, and with Kevin Love, with Kyrie, with J.R. Smith. This is Mike Dunleavy, all snipers.
LeBron be hitting it.
Yeah, all these snipers on the team. Yeah, I think they'll.
I honestly want to see Raptors win that game. I'll pick Raptors.
Next game, I think it'll be a pretty good game. The records of both teams might not be impressive, but Chicago and Portland.
Well, that's the competition Portland needs. That's around their level. Bulls, where is it at?
Portland.
I'll give it to Portland.
Yeah, me too. Same.
Portland needs that one.
Okay. Cavs and Pacers.
Cavs.
Yeah.
God no.
Dude,
if I didn't know what the Pacers were doing like before this, after like with the start of the season now,
of the season we'd say, the Pacers have a chance. But the way they're playing, they're gonna get demolished by this team.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Houston Rockets at OKC. Harden going against Westbrook.
I would love to see that because these are two guys that are probably going to be one or two winning MVP most likely. With Harden, probably is probably going to beat Tiny
Don't sleep on my man Kawhi.
I know. Will probably beat Tiny Archibald's record for leading the league in points and assists.
Mm-hmm. I refer to Westbrook and Harden as not point guards, point gods. But I actually got Rockets that game. Okay. I think their scoring is gonna be too hard to match.
Yeah, I got the Rockets there.
I got the Thunder in that game just because I think once again James Harden is the best defender in the league. We know that.
No, and look at his coach. He don't like defense either.
Yes, James Harden is a point guard, technically a point guard. But when these good point guards come to town, like Steph Curry, like Westbrook, like Damian Lillard. James Harden will not be guarding them. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, like I said, to get Enes Kanter the ball early and more often.
Yeah, I don't think Enes Kanter is going to save him next game.
The Warriors at Toronto.
Ooh.
That'll be interesting.
That's going to be a good game, man.
How do you say not the Warriors just after the game that Steph Curry had and Klay Thompson is somehow getting his shot back?
They're clicking right now. Yeah, I don't think
it's going to be pretty scary. I think I see the Warriors going on a roll for a good 20-game span.
Real quick, do you think in order to win their games, they're going to do what they're doing now, which basically one player is going to shine the most all game? Or do you think eventually they're going to click and everybody's going to drop their 20?
Through the season, guys are just going to get more comfortable with each other.
I agree.
And once again, they're just going to have to watch out for those bench minutes. It's going to be a struggle for them.
They're going to need to put up 20.
Next game, Chicago against the Clippers.
Where is it at, Clippers? The Clippers.
Yeah, Clippers are playing so well together. They're just, just like the Clippers usually do. They're top 3, top 4 team in the NBA.
Are they ever going to be serious, though? Are they ever going to be a contender?
We're just waiting for the playoffs right now to see if they can take that next step.
Yeah, we'll see after this week, maybe. We'll tell.
And that's about it. There isn't really any more key games, in my opinion. I'm looking here, and that wraps up the key games for the week.
Well, I'll be watching every Lakers game like always.
Yeah, shout out to
the Lakers are playing the Bulls on
that's a good
next
one.
Sunday.
That's a good one. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's going to be...
Got a while for that.
Yeah, that's going to be a while.
We'll be talking about this through the whole podcast. Will the Lakers make it to the playoffs? And if they do, please give Luke Walton Coach of the Year.
Yeah, he might.
He's looking like it.
He has to be right now.
If they go to the playoffs, I'm saying it right now, you better give Luke Walton.
Hawks Hornets coach, probably.
And if
definitely not Nate McMillan.
If the Knicks continue to stink it up, I'm gonna have a little rant about Melo. You should get your little butt out of there and chase for a ring. You might want to play with LeBron or someone to go chase that ring, but I know you want that ring, Melo.
Yep, so this is going to be the end. I want to thank everybody for listening, and I'm just going to ask you guys, keep listening. Give us suggestions, follow us, do whatever you have to do. Subscribe on YouTube, share our videos and our audios. Just give us some love, man. This is going to be the Triangle Podcast. This is our closing. I'm Christian.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Jesus.
And we're...
Much appreciated. Please check out the show. Ask us any questions. Anything we can make it more attractive to you, more interesting. We'll love to do it. We love having these arguments.
We get to look at statistics, and we see people viewing it in like New Zealand and Canada and
Australia. And
it's wild. I mean, we're nothing right now, but it's still amazing. Just a little
All our
thought
foreign
of it.
brothers, if you love us out there,
Give us a like.
Yes.
just let us know you're there, because
subscribe.
it's still kind of surreal to us. But even if it's only 20 views, it's still kind of.
It's gotta be like the Beatles.
I wish.
All right, but yeah, we're out, guys. Have a good
Peace.
weekend, NBA, man.
Peace.